San Baitzgano Utsuk Chite. Hello and welcome to this edition of Talk With Me. I'm Grace Brown. Ganbaatar grew up in Bayanhongor. He's now an independent member of the Mongolian parliament and a self-described resource nationalist. He's also served as president of the Mongolian Confederation of Trade Unions. Ganbaatar, thank you very much for coming on the program today. Firstly, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into politics.
I am an ordinary young person, Mongolian person, and I want to change people's life to a better way. And that's the reason I entered politics.
Tell us about your journey. So you started in Dachan?
My hometown is Bayanhongor.
Yes.
I was born in Bayanhongor and I grew up in Darkhan. After then I'm a student in German preparation course institute in Ulaanbaatar, but I couldn't graduate.
Why was that?
The reason is I came from countryside. I'm country boy. Yeah. I was country boy and difficult to adapt in city situation, and I couldn't learn German language easily. This is in my life one of the difficult time.
Do you have learning difficulties, or is it simply a lack of education as a young boy?
Honestly, I have had learning difficulty with language. Difficult to learn language. In secondary schoolhood, I have had very good grade in mathematics, physics, some lessons, but in language, in Russian language, in English, but that time we didn't learn English actually.
Well, your English sounds pretty good to me, but recently Prime Minister Saichen Bilig has pulled you up on your education, I understand, and he said that you haven't got a diploma. You studied in London at the University of Hammersmith, is that correct? What happened there? Why did you not graduate?
Yes. I am thankful to my Prime Minister, Saichen Bilig. He said something personally about myself in Prime Minister stage. This is a great and honorable, very high status. And I am ordinary politician who fighting for Mongolian ordinary people. And yes, fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times. And during my studenthood or young age, I have had very difficult times. I'm trying to get world recognized good education in London. I didn't have scholarship or someone's support and donor. I went to London and I worked at the street sweeper, dishwasher, kitchen porter, and spent a lot of money to get education. I have had a hard time. And that time, I studied in Hammersmith West London College, and I couldn't graduate. This is the 4 years program, but I studied 2 years. And Saichen Bilig, Prime Minister, attacked my personal nightmare difficulty. And I would say Margaret Thatcher one time told my enemies attacking to my personal life. I'm happy about it because my political issue already I'm won. They don't have any opinion about my political life. mining, Ayutthaya, whatever.
Well,
But they are attacking on the personal issue means after this Hammersmith West London College, I graduated 2 schools. They never noticed about it.
you graduated from the Mongolian Polytechnic University.
And also I am graduated as an economist. And I elected in Confederation of Mongolian Trade Union president means everyone check it. Also, I elected in 2012 in Darkhan province means every legal organizations checked me already, prove it. And I feel a little bit sorry about my prime minister, and I could say to him, experience is mother of wisdom. I worked hard. I studied myself hard, and I am enough to fighting for ordinary people as like a Robin Hood.
Well, Robin Hood, you talk about your experience being more important than education. What have you achieved so far as a Member of Parliament in Darkhan? Could you tell us about some of your key policies and key outcomes?
Yes, not much. I myself, independent members group, 3 independent members in current Parliament now, and we are working together. And we made 11 laws.
What were they?
One of them is the child care law. I am so proud of this law, which is already passed approved in Parliament. Secondly, health insurance law, which is we made it about almost 5 years ago, during when I was working for Confederation, President of Trade Union, and also I add one thing. In Darkhan, investment. Last 3 years' time, Darkhan's investment policy is quite good. We've been #1 in investment climate in Darkhan is 2 years among all provinces.
#1 by what ranking? Who ranked it?
This is the state budget spending, investment spending is that we are most investment favorable province is Darkhan.
And what were some of the most favorable investment policies that you helped implement in Darkhan? Could you tell us about those?
We are hugely concentrating and working together for infrastructure in Darkhan. 37 billion tugrik we invested in Darkhan's electricity infrastructure, and also road, and also housing, and actually infrastructure.
You're the oldest son
yes.
of 4 younger sisters, is that
and
correct?
2 youngest brothers. Yes, 7 children. I'm oldest one. And
so did that give you, from quite a young age, a sense of responsibility? Were you always looking after your siblings?
I would say so. As oldest brother means caring about my sisters and brothers a lot.
You lost your mother when you were only 20 years old. How difficult was that for you and the rest of your family?
No, it was a very hard time, and my mother was a very loving person, and when I was very young, I understood what does it mean, responsibility, and I tried my hard best.
You say you are a country boy. Growing up, were you working with the land, with the animals? Were you herding from a young age? Could you tell us a bit about your early work experiences?
Yes. when I was a small boy, I always traveled to countryside, to my relatives and my father's friends' home, and trying to ride horses. But I never was so good on horse. I tried hard.
I try hard too. I'm rubbish on a horse.
And I felt sometimes so jealous to my friends. They are ride a horse so beautiful, so skillful, and every boys, especially boys in Mongolia, should learn ride horse. This is I always think about it. Every summer, I'm sending my children. I have daughters.
4 daughters.
Yes, and I send them to my wife's parent-in-law, is it? And sending them to Arhanga province, beautiful, nice countryside, and they grow up in countryside in every summer, learning Mongolian nomadic life, and they are learning our Mongolian rich tradition, how to live, how to adapt, and this should every family in UB or in every family should think about it, and I'm encouraging my friends to send their children to their relative or someone who live in countryside. That is the big advantage.
Are you worried, looking around UB, seeing the growing number of foreign brands coming here and the growing number of Mongolians living an urban life? Are you worried that nomadic traditions are being left behind?
Yes, true. I'm so much worried about that, people ignoring and disvaluing our nomadic value and nomadic skill of life, nomadic life and tradition.
What are the sort of country values that you believe in?
Okay, I'm telling you a very simple example. Okay, riding horse.
Yeah.
No one can help me. If in trouble, I'm in trouble, and falling down or some panicking in situation, I should control myself, and this is the way of responsibility. It means, responsibility means in English word, but I would say ability to respond. Horse could
So quick reactions.
Quick reaction and adaptation and ability to respond. This is what nomadic life and Mongolian tradition teaching people a lot of things.
Going back to your 4 daughters, what is it like being a father of 4 girls? It must be pretty scary for you. I mean, I myself gave my dad a few grey hairs growing up, especially when I got my first boyfriend, and another grey hair came as the next boyfriend came along. And you have to do that 4 times.
Yes.
How are you dealing with that?
I'm praying a lot. I wish my loving daughters find very honorable and good men who can love my daughters like me.
As a brother of 4 sisters, as a father of 4 daughters, do you have a special interest in women's rights in Mongolia?
Yes, I am president of, I was 6 years being president of Confederation of Mongolian Trade Union. And our team worked hard for women's right in working place.
Equality.
Equality and same job and same wage or something. I believe my future, my country will be successful soon.
In recent years, since 2013, foreign direct investment into this country has fallen by more than 2/3. How do you see it having a bright future? Could you tell us why you're optimistic about Mongolia?
Okay. Earlier you asked so many foreign brands come in UB or something. I'm never against any foreign investors and foreign experts and foreign companies. Only thing is I'm so keen to get good benefit to my people. I'm trying to create some win-win solution. But in bottom most debted country, bottom table of 18 countries, we are in 8th.
For debt?
Debt, yes.
So you're in the bottom 8
Yes.
globally for debt?
Yes, globally. It means our situation, our economy and our the business environment, economy is growing rapidly. But people getting poor and poor means...
Right now, the economy is not growing so rapidly, though. I thought it's fallen to around 2 to 3% at the moment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, our economic growth is quite well now, because only thing is this growth is not benefiting ordinary people.
How would you like to see that change?
Yes, corruption and multinational companies. And
Untitled
Rio Tinto, and so many, I would say neoliberalism. So many multinational companies stealing and digging our wealth without benefiting to my people. That is the reason our economy is so rapidly not benefiting our people.
Okay.
That is I'm fighting almost more than 10 years.
I want to ask you specifically about OT, because that is owned 33% by the Mongolian government. So could you just explain to me and our viewers, how is it not benefiting Mongolia? What's your problem with that?
The initial investment on the agreement says, investment agreement says $5.1 billion. And then they increased their investment expenditure till $8.3 billion. And now, just recently, they made a Dubai agreement. We call Dubai agreement. In Dubai, they made...
Phase 2.
Yes, agreement made again. And they said $6 billion they put in Mongolian debt. And we become Mongolian land and license become collateral asset to Rio Tinto. And altogether, we've been in almost $15 billion investment already put it into Oyu field.
The Mongolian government?
Yes, and we never get dividend from this project. Recently in Parliament, Prime Minister Sakhanbelek announced as until 2037 we couldn't get any dividend from Oyu. And that is the reason we just asking, is there any benefit to my people?
Right now?
Yes, right now. Also, this is the wealth under the earth. Okay, Oyu and copper and gold mining. But we have some real wealth, real mining, but we couldn't get some real benefit to our budget. 2009, 6th of October, we made agreement, Oyu agreement. And we understood now Mongolian life will be better. But after 6 years' time, today, 2015, October, and in my country, 6 years ago, we don't have some debt, but now we have $21 billion debt in Mongolian country. This is in great danger. And we should ask our partner, Rio Tinto, could we have some benefit to our people? We are in danger, in difficult situation.
So
we should ask them.
You believe the agreement was not made in good faith. That's your argument.
Yes, you are telling right terminology, which is not in good faith is in international legal condition, not in good faith. This is the agreement is the benefiting one-sided, not two-sided. That is the...
So you believe it's invalid?
I believe, of course, invalid, and also we should discuss again. This should be a win-win solution.
What specifically do you want? Do you want Rio Tinto to give more dividends to the Mongolian government so that it can be reinvested into the community?
Yes, I would say, okay, yes. Last year, for example, their income is $2 billion. $2 billion. And they're just spending $50,000 some educational project or something. This is the peanuts. We are in great debt now. And I would say just one simple example. In Oyu Tolga, we could ask, they are using very old trick, transfer pricing. In economic language, they call transfer pricing. They are increasing their expenditure a lot, and their profit shrinking down. Our 34% dividend is becoming zero. That's that kind of trick they are doing now. We are allowed to ask them, stop it. Please benefiting to our people. Otherwise, this investment, Rio Tinto's investment, will be in danger.
But do you trust that if the government took more money, it would be used correctly? There's so much corruption in Mongolian politics and business, as I'm sure you would agree. How can we trust how the money would be used?
Grace, you are absolutely right. And yes, our government, our politicians, especially our two big parties, bosses, they are most corrupted politicians, I would say, in the world. And
President Elbek and Prime Minister Saichanbillig.
Most of them, most of them. And I would say, even in World Bank report says Mongolian government is captured state, captured government. They captured by multinational companies, interest groups. And I would say, yes, indeed, we are in trap of corruption now, and I'm not giving wrong to all Mongolian politicians. Also, I'm giving wrong to some multinational companies and also international financial institutions feeding this corruption. And
which institutions in particular?
IMF, World Bank's advice is the very poisonous advice.
What's that advice?
For example, they always asking us privatization. Can you imagine? 20 years ago, they asked, your main solution is privatization. Whole Mongolia, 70 years, we build our state assets, state value.
So do you believe...
Just, within the 1 year's time, this whole nation's state value, state assets become just 13 families' value under their control.
So do you believe that this is similar of Russia after the collapse of the Soviet Union?
Yes.
With the oligarchs taking everything and a few people benefiting at the expense of the masses?
Yes, Grace. Poland, Russia, and Mongolia. And they advised by one person, Jeffrey Sachs, which is that time 1991. This is the World Bank's main advisor. And he told us, your main solution, your main treatment is the shock therapy. And we received shock. Almost 25 years we are receiving shock now. Still we are in a shocking situation, but we couldn't receive right now our therapy. Where is the therapy? Still waiting for it. We are just 3 million people. Our population is 3 million. And our vast land and very rich our resource, but why we couldn't feed our people properly? Why we could not provide our people properly job? It means something wrong with neoliberalism, which is they taught us. And my dream is Nordic progress development style. Norwegians, they done great job. They have exactly same as their economy based on resource, mineral resource. Why could not we follow them, their path?
How do you propose following the Norwegian model of development?
For example, in Norwegian, all these mineral assets controlled by state. It doesn't mean I am nationalizing all this, what our private assets, our private companies. I didn't mean this, but Chile, they are a success story as well. Chilean main copper company, Codelco, they are 100% state company. Nothing wrong. For example, Mongolian, we call GOC, which is Erdenet copper mining in this company.
But Erdenet, isn't that largely Russian-owned?
51% Mongolian side and 49%
Russian
belongs to Russia. Yeah. And can you imagine? Erdenet, last 25 years, they are covering our most teachers, medical workers, and educational workers' salary. Their
taxes.
Their taxes is hugely supporting our state budget.
But I've heard that this year they've lost a lot of money and that Erdenet's taxes are not going to cover all of these salaries.
Yes. Because Ayutthaya 4 times bigger than Erdenet. I am wishing Ayutthaya should support our budget as Erdenet, at least. For example, Erdenet's royalty is 16%. Ayutthaya is just 5%. And 3% we giving back to management fee. They are just robbers. This is the not good in faith.
I mean, I know people who work at Uyghur and their defense is that they invest a lot in the South Gobi community, that they train local Mongolians how to become good mining managers. What's your thought on that?
Yes. In Ayutthaya's in camp, the health and safety and occupational regulation and condition is so beautiful. I must respect them. And also the Ayutthaya's experts and workers, so highly skillful, good people came to Mongolia. I'm so grateful to what they're doing. Only thing is, Ayutolga's main shareholders, stakeholders, and investors.
Turquoise Hill.
Yes, they are speculating. They're making some financial speculation. Can you imagine? They are. I never call Rio Tinto investor to Mongolia. They are just bringing our debt and bringing us some, I would say, some loan. They're just a loan provider, loan exchanger. We want some good benefit to my people, good job, good salary, and good. They should benefit to our budget as well. That's what they promised before signature of this agreement. I am not against any foreign investors. I am very much keen to get good benefit to my people. I'm not ashamed on asking these questions. And right now, my main difficulty is, for example, Prime Minister and some Mongolian big politicians, they are sometimes I feel puppet of the multinational companies, puppet. And they never answering my questions. They just, instead of this, they are just attacking my personal weakest points. And I feel so proud.
You're an independent MP. Would you ever be tempted to join one of the big parties and try and change it from within? Or do you want to keep operating as you call yourself, Robin Hood?
I don't think joining two big monster corrupted parties. Rather, I prefer to be part of the new generation and who has ambition to change and support and help my nation. I want to be part of this new generation. And I'm doing well. I am so lucky that people love me.
Oh, I can see, according to a Sant Moral poll, a German think tank foundation, you actually rank as the #1 top politician in Mongolia. So, with that power, would you consider setting up your own political party?
Grace, you are a professional journalist. I would say to you, okay, thankful to noticing that I'm #1 ranking something, and personally I'm proud of it, but it doesn't mean Ganbaatar is good. It means follow your honesty, stay strong. That's my principle.
So would you set up your own party?
Difficult question, difficult to answer. I am just earth. People should stand up on me to get good success. On this point, I would say I must support and help new generation of politicians. No one has this advantage who has me.
So you see yourself in future more as a political advisor?
Support person or some...
You don't want to be president or prime minister yourself?
This is not up to me, it's up to people.
We have to end there, but thank you so much, Ganbaatar, for coming on the program today. That was...
Grace, may I give you my book?
Oh!
Which is, what kind of society do we want and Mongolia to become, and how do we get there? This is what kind of Mongolia we want.
Thank you very much. Is it in English?
In English.
Okay, good.
Social justice, state sovereignty, clean government, and resource nationalism is our main goal. That's what I believe, and thank you very much for your understanding and invited me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Ganbaatar Sanghu, a member of parliament with a special focus on resource nationalism. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you can tune in again next week. Until then, please stay in touch with us on social media. We're on Facebook at TalkWithMe*TV Mongolia. We're also on Twitter at TalkWithMe_MN. I'm Grace Brown. Until next time, goodbye. Darangim natrulik hurtal baishta.